Hi, hello, namaskar. This is your host Sarang, and welcome to One Story at a Time. So, before we move on to the podcast, I want to share something very interesting and unique with our viewers. So, if you're a student working on innovative projects, or if you're a budding entrepreneur with disruptive ideas, or if you're a mentor with abundance experience, but you are struggling to find the right team or the right mentor, don't worry, we've got you covered. We are I bring to you one of India's fastest growing social communities for students, entrepreneurs, and mentors, enabling users to find the right team and the right mentor in just 2 steps. Upon that, you get recognized solely based on your skill set. Without wasting much time, let's get into the core of this podcast. I welcome Mr. Bhargav Kantaria, who is the founder of Shortcast. Bhargav is one of the most smart, curious, intellect, and the most selfless entrepreneurs that I know. Welcome to the show, Bhargav.
Hey Sarang, thank you so much. That was a lot of appreciation there from your end. Means a lot, man. Yeah, and you are really building something amazing at Inovact, trying to solve a very huge gap that's between students and mentors and the opportunities around that. So yeah, have been seeing your journey very closely and amazing progress, man. Good luck. Yeah.
Superb, superb. Likewise, Bhargav. So let's jump right into the podcast. So before we talk more about your product, I think our viewers would be interested to know more about you and your journey since you have also started up just a few years back. So let's just rewind 2-3 years back.
Sure.
Okay, so you are a kid in an engineering, a non IIT engineering college. So what was your thought process? What was your mindset when you were that kid?
Yeah. So I don't know how do I put it. One word that really describes me is two words that really describe me is I'm really curious and I'm a go-getter. So right from my college days, uh, this is not something that I'm bragging about. But I used to top my college, but never attended a single class after my second semester. So
Right.
probably out of the 4 years, it was only the first year that I attended the college for, and the other 3 years was like I was on campus every single day, but never ever attended a class. What I was doing on campus was doing a lot of events around the campus. So that's fests, there's conferences. Surprisingly, there was an aerodynamics team that I headed. So I represented India at NASA, where we built a flying aircraft, an RC aircraft, so a prototype of a flying aircraft, and secured good ranks there as well. But yeah, that is how I put myself. And about my journey from there to now, I'm an engineer by degree. I started my career as a marketer. Uh, then I moved into becoming a creator, and now from creator, I am a founder or an entrepreneur. So it's been a wild journey, but loving it. So it's the process that makes me excited, happy, brings the growth for me. Yeah.
So basically, you are an all rounder. I don't think I'd be wrong if I say that.
Yes.
Right. All right. So moving on to what you are building, can you tell our viewers in just 10 to 15 seconds what you're trying to build in Shortcast?
Yes. So what I'm trying to build at Shortcast is Twitter for audio. Shortcast is a social micro podcast platform that simplifies the way people express their thoughts, ideas, or whatever is on their mind, as easy as sharing a tweet. So what we do is we make the entire process of recording and sharing your voice a two-click process. All you have to do is click a button, record your voice, click another button, and share. That's all. Everything in between, that is editing, hosting, distribution, and discovery, is taken care by the platform. So that is what we do.
Amazing. Probably, the editing part is, a lot of people find that very frustrating. And since you guys are doing it on your platform, probably that will be one of the most
Yes.
unique features.
Yes. So that's the actual problem that we are trying to solve here, Sarah. Let's take an example of the different mediums. So currently, video as a medium has around 100 million plus creators on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. On text, there are another 100 million creators on Medium, on Twitter and other platforms. But audio has less than 4 million creators globally. The question comes, why this huge gap? This huge gap is because of the inefficiency of the process of podcasting, which makes it inaccessible and elusive. And editing is one such feature in the entire process that's probably the most consuming, time taking, and difficult. Because when you edit a video, you can visually see things and can connect. But with audio, when you're editing it, all you can see is waveforms which are just like one another. As in, even if it's a 30-minute content or a 1-hour content, just the pitches keep on changing.
Right.
But it's a black and white waveform. That's all. So you have to literally listen to every second of it, hear noise, identify what's going on, and edit it. So that's very time consuming. So that's one thing that we are really trying to bring a USP or bring a change in the market is converting your audio file into text transcript. Later on, what you have to do is click on the text transcript wherever, probably a word, or select an entire sentence, delete it, modify it, and the same gets replaced in the audio in your own voice.
Right. I mean, that's truly amazing. So basically, what you're trying to build is a whole infrastructure around podcasting and making podcasting easy for the general public.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. What I make to do is, what did TikTok do? TikTok is not just a social network. TikTok is a magical tool that has made it so easy to record and share that anybody on earth, somebody who dances well, somebody who is a crazy gym freak, somebody who speaks well, they've given them probably the easiest medium, a magical tool where you click a button, start speaking or start dancing, click another button, add it here and there, add a music, and you are out there on the internet. And probably within a few hours, you are a star. That's what they've done. They've introduced a magic that happens between recording and sharing by simplifying it. That's what we want to do for audio, by making it as simple to make it accessible to more than 100 million people globally.
Amazing. So, like the idea sounds pretty awesome, and I've seen the product as well. The product is also awesome. But the $1,000,000 question here is, how did you get that idea into your head? Was it from your personal experience, or did you just have that eureka moment? How did you start?
Yes, it has come from a very personal experience, Sarang. So back when the pandemic started in India, that was 2021 start, November 2020 and the start of 2021. That's where things started to peak up. That was a time when I was stuck at home. I had to move back to my hometown. I left my job and I was helping dad with his business. But that was also the time when I was not feeling satisfied or complete with what I was doing, Probably I was a misfit in the business, maybe. But I didn't enjoy that. So I really wanted to be there out in the world and do what I best do, that is connect with people, talk with people. That makes me happy. So I decided to become a creator myself and chose audio as a medium. Reason being, audio has been my best medium for learning anything and everything right from my school days. So be it education, later when I was doing jobs, or be it marketing, sales, entrepreneurship, anything and everything, audio has been my best medium of learning. So I chose audio. But now that I'm creating in audio and not just consuming it, my fascination for the medium turned into a disappointment right from my first episode creation. My first episode creation took me 7 freaking days to create it. Yeah, and I was so frustrated, so stuck, confused that I dropped on a Reddit subreddit called r/podcasting, and I asked people that, hey guys, this is what I'm going through. Is it weird, or is it just me, or is it common? And to my surprise, there are more than 200 Redditors who replied to saying that, dude, it's not just you. So it was my first question as well as a survey where people dropped in and gave me a realistic answer that a 20 to 30 minute long audio content takes anywhere between 8 plus hours to a week. And that was huge. And I was mind blown that why is video text so easy and why isn't audio so easy? While audio being the oldest technology, that's right from the time of radio, even before newspapers were a thing. So that was the moment where I decided to create something that simplifies the process of audio, just like Twitter did it for text. So that's where I call Shortcast as Twitter for audio.
Right. So I often quote and believe in something like this. New age startups are probably the result of the founder's personal experience. What do you think about that? Do you agree with that?
Yes, so I'll tell you, if you are a first-time founder or somebody who is just starting out, doing something that really is a problem for you, something in your daily life that agitates you, disappoints you, something that irritates you a lot, be it at your workplace, be it at your home, be it related to your family, but something that revolves around you is the quickest way to start, because there might be the probability of people like you facing a similar problem is millions. There might be millions of people. So, and starting with something that is personal has your own skin in the game, because you are at that time you are not focused on becoming a millionaire or billionaire or raising millions of dollars of fund,
Correct.
but you are focused on really solving that problem for yourself. So that's your skin in the game. So I just don't believe it. I believe that if you really want to start with your own self. That's the best way
Correct.
to get going. Be it not just entrepreneurship, be it freelancing, something that you are really good at. Say, I know, Sarang, you're really good at speaking or performing or copywriting. So start with that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, with that being said, a lot of young people, or probably for that matter, a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is risky and entrepreneurship is really hard. Okay. So, what do you want to tell people who just want to get into entrepreneurship as a career and also think that entrepreneurship is risky? Do you think with the amount of resources that are available now, you have funding, you have mentorship, you can find the right team with Inovact, there are a lot of resources available, and still people think that entrepreneurship is risky. What do you want to tell people who think entrepreneurship is risky? And also, what do you want to advise people who just want to get into entrepreneurship
Yeah,
as a career?
firstly, I really like the plugin of Innovact that you did in there. Yeah. Yes. See, nothing is not risky. Tomorrow, if you don't upgrade yourself in your job, you might be just a day away from getting fired, and somebody might replace you.
Correct.
Yeah. If you're not good at uplifting or upgrading your skills, there's no space for you anywhere. Yeah.
Correct.
So, but entrepreneurship. So, Nassim, there's this author called Nassim Nicholas Taleb. He has a great quote, and I would really like to put in here. It's the two worst addictions in this world are heroin and a monthly salary. Yeah, and then it's very deep. It stands very true. Entrepreneurship is something that even if you fail, let's start with failure. Even if you fail in your thing, you started here, but after your, be it any kind of startup or any kind of entrepreneurship endeavor that you take on, you are starting here. But even if you fail, you are here in terms of experience, knowledge, wisdom, anything and everything. And there's one more. I forgot the person's name. There's one more quote which goes, "If you really want to learn about life, start a business." And it stands true in my yeah.
I think both of us can relate with
Yeah.
that.
In my journey of 11 months of starting up, I can tell you now that I have learned worth more of 11 years that I would have never learned in my job doing a particular role. Yeah. So entrepreneurship is not risky. Risky is a very unrelatable word. It is difficult. It is very difficult building something from scratch, even if you have money. So introducing something new to the world, it's difficult. And you have to have eye for things like, once you're building, what next? Marketing, what next? Building team, what next? Scaling, what next? So it's always a run. Every stage
Right.
of entrepreneurship requires a new you. So it's difficult. It's not easy. But if you are somebody who enjoys this pain, or can embrace this pain, then entrepreneurship is for you. It's not difficult. It's just a matter of, are you willing to trade money for your time, or the reverse of it? If you are doing the reverse of it, do a job. You are the best at it.
Exactly.
If you really want to, yeah, if you really want to get hands on your time in form of freedom of your time, then do entrepreneurship. Down the line, it will work out for you.
So one quick statement to our viewers. entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but for people, who really have the courage and the willingness to do it, and whatever Bhargav said so far. So that is one statement. And also, this is a rapid fire question.
Yep.
Three things that you think a founder or a startup must have. Three things.
Okay. One is authenticity. Second is great culture, and third is the sense of giving back.
Amazing. I mean, these are very insightful points, because I have spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs and I ask the same question. They tell it's the idea, it's the problem, it's that, this. But whatever you said is, kind of, I think all of us have to think in this perspective also.
Yeah.
Right. So let's pause stopping about you right here,
Yeah.
and we'll move on to your product.
Sure.
So you said your product is something like Twitter for podcasts.
Yeah.
So I was just surfing through Google, and I found out this stat: around 120 million people in America listen to podcasts, whereas out of the 500 million people in India who are exposed to internet, only 40 million people listen to podcasts or make podcasts. Why do you think that there is a significantly huge difference between the number of podcast listeners in the US and in India?
The difference is the adaptation of technology and the time that it started in these regions. So US is any day a few years ahead of us. So they have adapted and embraced this technology a long time before us. If India, my stats currently is in India, the listener base currently is at 150 million, and it's set to rise to 175 million by 2023. So that's
just in India.
Just in India, yes. So that's a great rise. One of Spotify's reports stated that during the pandemic there was 50% increase in the number of new podcasts in regional languages. So I feel that's a great number if regional content is growing on. So we are definitely in its nascency, or probably in its earliest phase, and we are set to grow. So we are not at a state where it's plateauing. It's just the initial phase, and it's set to grow. And also you have to understand that the geo revolution, where internet became cheap and internet was made much more accessible with cheaper smartphones as well, is when content consumption has gone up. I was just reading a stat a few days ago. 10 years back, every person used to consume 1 GB of internet. Today, every individual in India, on an average, consumes 17 GB per day.
Whoa.
So
that's a lot. I mean,
yeah, that's a lot. Yes.
Technologically.
Yes. Well. Yes. So that's where we are set to grow, and so that's where content consumption is growing overall for everything: video, text, audio as well. And audio is probably in its very nascent phase, and it is just set to skyrocket from here. So it's just the initial days. It will grow. Just like I'll give your audience a quick insight and an exciting insight. Just like we use WhatsApp in India, in China people use WeChat, but nobody types on WeChat. Everybody is always plugged in their headphones or earphones, and they are speaking on WeChat, because Mandarin is actually is a huge language with a lot of alphabets, a lot of annotations and stuff, which is difficult for everybody to interpret. So all they go on is, it's easier for them to speak things and communicate, and it's much more authentic as well. So I guess this is something that I'm not trying to tell this will get replicated in India, but if there's growth in regional content, it is definitely time that India can become a voice first nation.
Probably. Coming to Web 2 and Web 3, your product is a Web 3 product, if
Yes.
I understand it
Yeah.
correctly. And a lot of people think that, blockchain, NFTs, Web 3, it's like a huge word for them to process. A lot of people don't know what exactly it is.
Yes.
So could you explain what Web 3 is in layman terms?
Sure. It's okay. How do I put it? Is Web 2 is where, let's say you are surfing Facebook, you are surfing Instagram. You just watched a video by Shah Rukh Khan. If you still grow on scrolling a few videos, you'll again get recommended about Shah Rukh Khan.
Correct.
Who does this? It is the company Facebook who decides what you should be recommended or what content you should see, right? Tomorrow, if you post something inexplicit, even without asking it, they hold the authority to put down your content, block your account, or completely remove you from their platform, right? So it's things what you do in your own life, in your own phone, are not under your control. It's some authority that's taking control of you. Web3 is where you are in the control of your own content, which is being reviewed by a community of people like you and not an authority.
Right.
So Web3 is a world that is much more decentralized, and it's a world where it's peers like you who come together to make decisions or who come together to do activity. Yeah.
So what you're saying is in Web3 there is no one central agency who has complete hold of your data. So your data is secure and your data has more privacy, correct?
Yes. And that is there, and you have much more value out of your own data and control over it.
Right. So to the viewers who are confused between Web 2 and Web 3, this is basically the fundamental difference between Web 2 and Web 3. Right. So coming to our last few questions, what do you think? Okay, let me put it this way. Why do you think that people have to listen or make podcasts? Number one. And what do you think is the future scope, global and local scope of podcasts?
Okay. So audio, just as we had, if you see, there was a picture that I recently saw. Everybody on a metro were hooked to their phones, and there was a 2-3 decade old picture showing that everybody were hooked to their newspapers. So human behaviors don't change. It is just the technology adaptation that goes on changing. What I mean to say here is radio was a thing of pride or status at a time. Vinyls or those gramophones were a thing. LCDs were a thing when they came out. Televisions themselves were a thing. Yeah. So mediums keep on changing. Video pandemic gave us a signal that Zoom fatigue is a real thing. You go through Zoom fatigue if you are too much on it. You really don't want to be in front of your screen. That's where audio or listening things come into picture. Yeah. And both video and text requires a forceful or probably a conscious decision to consume it, because you have to be in front of your screen. But audio is something that even if we are not on a video, I can be walking around my balcony or my home and I can talk to you. I might be cooking and I can talk to you. I might be driving and I can talk to you. So it's an unconscious effort.
You get to consume content without having clear focus on it.
Yes, it is not restricting your senses, other senses. You can drive, but you can still consume things. You might be writing something, you might be journaling, and you might still consume things. So audio is is probably the most immersive and most authentic medium. Like, let's say you and me are talking on a call, and if you are having a bad day, I can definitely make it out from your tone. Right. But if you are typing something, I might not be able to understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Got it. So as an entrepreneur, I am sure you would have had ups and downs. So how do you motivate yourself when you are down? And what kind of breaks do you take? I know me being an entrepreneur, I know entrepreneurship is a 24/7 job, right? So when do you take breaks, and how do you avoid or what do you do when you feel low?
Yes. So firstly, how do I motivate myself is initial days there was no other thing than to keep myself going on, believing in the idea, building the team, getting people on board who like it. And what motivates me is talking to strangers. I talk to a lot of podcasters, other creators. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, founders, and drop them, hey, what do you think about this idea? And looking at their thoughts, looking at their feedbacks is what kept me going. Now that the product is out, my motivation is getting feedback from my users. Even if one user tells me that, hey, this is your product is what I was actually looking for, gives me a great pump.
Right.
How do I avoid getting a burnout or exhausted? Is three things that I'm doing for myself. More than three things. I'll just like a few things that I do for myself that's helping me on a daily basis is exercise. I take on walks in the evening, a few 10-20 minutes walks. And third is I journal at the end of every day. So I write down what has happened, my feelings, my day, and I just write down what next, what is tomorrow. And apart from that, few things that I really appreciate or have realized that this increases your productivity over time is good food, good sleep, and good movements. That's exercise or even a walk. This keeps your mind up. And walking, especially walking and gym, is something that push. When you're physically pushing yourself, it's your mind that's moving much more. And that's even if you are having a super low day, if you go and gym, you'll be having a happy moment because endorphins get released. That gives you a sense of achievement that you pushed yourself. So never miss a gym day.
So you keep your body fit, you reflect, you eat and sleep healthy.
Yes.
Superb. And last final questions. I know you are in a hurry. I know how busy you are. Okay. What do you seek as an entrepreneur? Do you want your startup to be the next unicorn, or what do you seek as an entrepreneur? What is that one thing? If you, if you have that, or if you reach that, okay, I have achieved something. What is that metric?
What I seek for myself is truth and understanding myself better over time. Products work, products don't work. It is a matter of market and matter of time. Great products has a lot of ingredients going into it, the success formula going into it. But that is something that should not stop you because ideas come, ideas go. Today you might be working on something, tomorrow you might get even better idea to work on. So things keep coming and going. It's your own consistency, your own thoughts, your own building blocks, your own fundamentals that keeps you growing. What I seek is this. What I seek is truth, and what I seek is growth. And if I am doing this right, then money is definitely a byproduct, and it will come.
And one thing that I learned from is effective networking.
Yep.
Nobody had told me how to network on LinkedIn, network on Twitter. So can you tell our viewers how important it is to network with people? Because there are a lot of people who think they have their own product, they have their own idea, they're just going with it. They never network, they never talk to people, they never reach out to people. So how can you tell viewers how important and how impactful networking is?
Yes. Before that, I would like to add one thing here is that this not talking about to anyone comes with an insecurity if somebody is just starting out that my idea will be copied. But I would like to tell those guys or put one thing statement to these people that okay, don't tell anybody. What when your product is ready? You will not talk to your customers. What if they copy your ideas?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about in the execution.
Yes. Nobody can copy your idea. Anyone can copy your idea. Sorry, but nobody can copy your execution. Remember this. And don't be insecure about your ideas because it's always and the world is moving fast. The world has a lot of probabilities. You're not always or the only one to get this new idea. You might be getting a new version of a particular idea that's already existing. That's how I would put it. And networking is important because if you talk to 10 people today, those 10 people know what you are doing. And if those 10 people have 10 friends who know who want something that you are building or who are looking for something that you are building, then those 10 people become your first nodes or first networks that can help you reach out to them. You never know. Probabilities are endless. It's just that you keep on and I consider relationship building or networking as compounding as compounding.
Right.
Do more and that grows even more. Right. This is one unscalable thing that a founder should always have, that is building relations and networking.
Right. Super. So let's wrap it up with one last question. What is your one or two statement advice for young entrepreneurs or young innovators?
Your time is limited in this world. It's only one life. Do what you really want to, and also remember that you are not the only one who drives this world. You are probably have this feeling that you are nothing. That's where your humbleness or that's where you will stay grounded and keep on going. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. Amazing. So to conclude this podcast, so what I have and what the viewers are going to take away is is firstly, entrepreneurship, yes, is hard, but if you have the motivation, if you have the courage to do it, go for it. And I also liked the quote you said about
Nassim Nicholas Taleb.
exactly. And eat healthy, reflect, sleep healthy, and yeah, I mean, it's all about how your perspective is about entrepreneurship and what you want to suck and what you want to do in your life. I think that is what matters. Yes, challenges are going to come, but that is what makes our life even more strong. That is what makes us more strong. Right?
One thing I would add here, sir, I'm sorry to cut you in, is
No
life is
issues.
life is painful. If somebody is telling you otherwise, he's definitely trying to sell something to you.
Exactly. And one last thing to the viewers, do consider using Shortcast. So you can even monetize from your content. So that is one interesting feature that Bhargav and Shortcast is coming up with. So do consider using Shortcast. And yes, again, if you have a problem with finding a team or a mentor, you have us, you have Inovact. So I am going to put the download links to both Inovact and Shortcast in the description. So do
Yep.
consider using it. And we are definitely open for feedback. And what else? Do you want to say something to our users, Bhargav?
No, I'm really happy to do this with you, Sarang. It's a great showcase for me as well. To all your student community, is that guys, you are pretty young. You have a lot of time around you. Keep on kicking ahead, doing things, exploring. That's what will bring a lot new things, growth to you. So never stop trying.
Right, superb. So that's it from us, guys. This is your host Sarang signing off, and we will meet you in the next week with one story at a time. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.